We start now in South Sudan, where fresh fighting has broken out in the capital, Juba. Heavy gunfire could be heard in parts of the city, and Juba's under lockdown. The violence is reportedly centered on the residence of Vice President Riek Machar, also the headquarters of his forces. We're also getting some unconfirmed reports that the UN base has come under attack. The fighting comes after Friday's violence in the South Sudanese capital. Now, according to the government, at least 272 people have been killed. Friday's fighting was apparently sparked following a shootout between the bodyguards of President Salva Kiir and Machar. Now, the violence has once again put in doubt the peace deal between the two leaders that was meant to end civil war in the country. Let's get you an update on that situation. I'm joined live on the line from Juba by CCTV's Patrick Oyet. Patrick, just tell us what's the latest regarding the fighting there today and what's happened so far.
Yes, at about 8 a.m. local time, heavy gunfire could be heard in the southwestern side of Juba, where the opposition forces are based. And I have actually spoken to the government military spokesperson, Brigadier General Lul Roy. He said he is yet to get information from field commanders on how the fight began, and now fighting is going on. It has spread to other parts of Juba, and he says he cannot tell even how many people have been killed so far, or how the fighting is. He said we will have to start get information from field commanders who at the moment are still involved in the fighting. And now, just on my case, I and my family are on a run. We live just about 1 kilometer from the base of the opposition forces. And when fighting started this morning, government soldiers told us to leave the place. They said the opposition forces attacked them, and when they retaliated, opposition forces ran and hid on top of a mountain which is just nearby our home. So they said we could be caught up in crossfire. We are now on the run. But the military spokesperson of the opposition cannot be reached on phone. His phone is off, or is not going through for that matter. But the spokesperson of Riek Machar, who is the first vice president, says their forces were attacked this morning. They repulsed the attack, and the government responded with tanks and helicopters, and fighting is still going on. Which helicopters, of course, we also saw. But that is according to the spokesperson of Riek Machar, that is Gadet Dak.
Patrick Oyet, they're live for us in Juba. We do thank him, of course, for that update. And as we heard, ongoing fighting that started at 8 o'clock once again this morning, a situation that has made many people to start fleeing Juba over the course of today. Now, outrage and concern across the world following the fighting in Juba. In fact, UN Chief Ban Kimoon has called it yet another indication that neither side is committed to a lasting peace.
Once again, trouble in Africa's youngest nation. With the death toll soaring, both President Salva Kiir and Vice President Riek Machar are denying any involvement. UN Chief Ban Kimoon says he's deeply alarmed, adding that it was proof of lack of commitment to the peace process by both leaders. Kiir and Machar signed a peace deal in August last year meant to end the civil war, but both sides routinely accuse each other of attacks. Ban says the violence must end and those responsible should be brought to book. Civilians are once again worst affected. They've been flocking UN bases where peacekeepers are assisting them. A Chinese peacekeeping battalion has been tasked to keep civilians and UN staff safe. Britain and Kenya have meanwhile moved to extract their citizens out of South Sudan, and the United States is calling for calm. Catherine Omwando, CCTV.
Well, the fresh clashes in Juba come as African leaders are gathered in Kigali. The African Union Summit gets underway today. CCTV's Jane Kiir joins us now live from the Rwandan capital. Jane, of course, as we heard the UN Chief Ban Kimoon saying that this is an indication that neither side in South Sudan is committed to peace. Is this an opinion shared by African leaders in Kigali? And is President Salva Kiir himself expected to make an appearance later this week?
Well, Lindy, we are told that President Salva Kiir had indeed confirmed his participation, but given the current situation here, the current situation in Juba, it's not clear whether he'll actually be making it for the summit by the end of the week. Of course, the presidents are not expected here until Saturday. But that said, the issue has certainly made its way here at the summit. Chairperson Dlamini Zuma did issue a statement late Saturday condemning the fighting and urging for calm. She also called on the two leaders, President Kiir and Riek Machar, to provide what she calls political leadership within the set frameworks of the transitional government of national unity. And she says this will also ensure that security forces operate within law and order. Now we are hopefully expecting to hear from the African Union Peace and Security Summit as the summit progresses, given that it only got underway, officially opened a couple of minutes ago. Lindy?
Well, tell us more about that. As you say, only opened a couple of minutes ago, but I imagine that the AU headquarters a hive of activity this morning.
Well, it is the diplomats, or what they call the Permanent Representative Committee, just started their preparatory meeting. These are the people who basically run the day-to-day affairs of the African Union. They set the agenda of the summit and then advise the Executive Council before the heads of states finally get here. And of course, they are discussing a wide range of issues from budgetary concerns to matters politics, not just on the continent, but around the world. And Lindy, one of the issues that we've been saying, or perhaps is likely to take center stage, is that of the selection of the African Union chairperson. Dlamini Zuma is expected to step down after 4 years at the helm. She did give an indication that indeed she will be stepping down. We're not sure whether that election will be taking place, because so far we are told only 3 candidates have actually put their names forward. They include current foreign affairs ministers, 2 current foreign affairs ministers from Botswana and Equatorial Guinea. The third candidate is a former vice president of Uganda. Now, we are also being told by our sources that former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete has also been approached to run for this position. Again, this is yet to be confirmed. Lindy?
All right, well, we'll certainly be keeping in touch with you as the events progress at the AU Summit. Thanks very much. Jane Kiir live for us there in Kigali.